There you go. Okay, there.
You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the resistance.
What's up, everyone? This is the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the resistance. And this is the Round Table, brought to you by the great and powerful Meth Monster Blue, the fictitious product that doesn't actually exist. Because we are not sponsored by any corporate entities. We are not any sort of corporate sellouts. Why? Because we are by you, for you, and all about you. So if you like the broadcast, be sure to share the live feeds, follow us on our various social medias, Rumble, YouTube, X, all at Real TWWRN. Fuck up YouTube's algorithm by hitting the like button and that notification bell to keep up on notifications and completely fuck up their algorithm. Because we want to make sure that we reach as many people as possible, because the more people we reach, the more the higher ups and the powers that be are going to pay attention. And if we want to affect real change, we need to get the word out there, and we need to get it in the ears of the people that matter and can make the change, like the Orange Man, the President of the United States. Which leads me to my topic. Shlomo Kramer has been stating, and most recently has come out saying, that he wants the... Why are you on the stage twice? What happened to you? What'd you do?
I had to go from our phone to here, man.
You swapping devices on me. I see what you did.
Yeah.
Did there. But yeah, Kramer is calling for limitations on the First Amendment. Now, he's not a public official of any sort. He's just a philanthropist and a millionaire out of Israel. And now Netanyahu has allegedly said similar things, but nothing really definitive. Jones has been saying that he has been definitive on the matter, but unfortunately I'm not able to really make heads or tails of that because they're so damn cryptic. Everything in government, when it comes to policy and whatnot, these, whenever they go public and speak in public or speak in Congress or whatever, or even in the United Nations, they are all so very fucking cryptic. But it seems like they want to limit the First Amendment. They want to gain control over social media platforms and basically police what could be said, especially in terms of anything they disagree with, which would be primarily their bad behavior. I would have to say, if you don't want people calling you out on your bad behavior, don't do bad behavior. You don't want to get caught up on doing bad shit, don't do bad shit.
Exactly.
Just live and let live, motherfucker. You got Israel, you did your thing, you got Israel. Leave everybody else alone. Leave the Gentiles, leave the Goyo or whatever the fuck you call us alone. You do your thing, we do our thing. You got your sandbox, stay the fuck out of my sandbox. It's not that hard, guys.
Yeah. Do your shit, we'll do our shit. You know?
Yeah. But that's the basis of this conversation and why we want these broadcasts pushed so much. Because not only is it by you and for you and getting the information to you and presenting alternate ideas and issues and whatnot, but we want to make sure that we get into the ear of the President of the United States, because like him or hate him, if you call him out on something, 9 times out of 10, he'll course correct. He's not, in many regards, he has shown himself to be not above listening to the American people and following good direction, especially when he's been given bad advice. And when it comes to Israel and they're meddling in our affairs, we need to get in the president's ear and be like, hey, dude, you need to pump the brakes on these guys. You need to get the Mossad operatives out of our government, out of the White House, out of the Pentagon, out of Congress. You need to stop the lobbying. In fact, wasn't lobbying illegal at one point?
Still is.
Yeah. Okay. Why is this being allowed? Okay. If you are allowing a foreign government to lobby, you're guilty of treason. So if you're taking money from a foreign power that is openly saying, in many regards, that they want to do things like limit the First Amendment, that's a problem. And that is treason, flat out. Because if you are allowing a foreign power to have any sort of influence in our governmental structure, especially on a constitutional level, you need to be in prison. And Donald Trump, you, bro, need to fucking sign a legislation putting a foot down on this crap. You need to get Mossad out of government. You need to get lobbying out of government. Okay, you need to start signing some executive orders, bro.
CIA, don't trust Mossad, man.
Well, CIA ain't trustworthy for shit, but in many regards, Mossad had infested the CIA and the Pentagon. They lobby in Congress to get international policy passed and influence internal governmental policies here in the States. I mean, I can understand, working on an international level in terms of international policy and coming to agreements and everything, but you don't lobby. Lobbying bad. Lobbying needs to be outlawed. The laws that are in place against lobbying need to start being enforced, even if you have to have military tribunals. Okay, you're pissing around with all these stupid little issues. Oh, we want to get them on mortgage fraud or this kind of fraud or whatnot. Okay, how many of these assholes are engaging in lobbying with foreign powers to influence not only our political structure, but our policy as well within the United States, whether it be federal or state level? Something needs to be fucking done here. And
federal, state, and local.
Yeah, but my point is, it needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
If foreign powers are interfering within our governmental process, that needs to be stopped. And anybody within the government who is allowing it needs to be charged for treason, because that's exactly what it is. If you are working and complicit with a foreign power to circumvent the law and even constitutional law of the United States, that is treason. Military tribunal, Orange Man. Not trying to be a dick, but fuck, common sense right here.
They started going after the freedom of speech in the UK with that Online Safety Act,
Yeah.
back in July?
Yeah. And ever since then, Connor's had to take a bit of a step back. So we'll focus. You and I can cover that shit all day long because we're of no liability at this point
No.
in addressing something that goes on with Israel or goes on with the Muslim Brotherhood or any of that. Connor is in Canada where they've got every citizen's balls in a fucking vice grip. So if Connor has to take a step back, I'm not going to fault him for that.
No.
He's got to protect his home. He's got to protect his family. He's got to be smart on how he plays these things.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not to say that he's not still in the fight in many regards. It's just pure and simple. We got to acknowledge the truth. You got to play it smart. Okay? You can't just put yourself in the line of fire and die as a martyr. Okay? If you want to stay in the battle and you want to have real change and you want to continue to have an impact, you got to be smart. You got to be strategic.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to take a step back before you can move 2 steps forward. So if that's what Connor has to do and let us be the front runners on certain issues, then so be it. And we'll do that.
Social media is supposed to be like a red square, kind of a gathering spot,
Yeah.
And they've been, when you look at companies back in the day like MySpace and shit, MySpace and Vine,
Yeah. Like good old days.
Yeah.
Tom gave us everything and we turned our backs on him. We're sorry, Tom.
MySpace is still around, but it's very, it's very rare.
It's not by any means what it used to be.
No.
The main social media platforms, Facebook, X, and so on, they're pretty much what MySpace used to be, and in many regards could have become.
Facebook is heading that way too.
Well, when you got a company that's run by a chain-smoking penguin rapist,
yeah,
your company is bound to flounder. He's still very much big into online censorship, and the people that work for him are still doing the online censorship. You hear about it all the time. Jones is not on Facebook. He's not on YouTube. Why? Because these companies are still engaging in censorship and disinformation. I'm honestly surprised we're still on YouTube, given that we've been demonetized. They thought they were going to hurt us by demonetizing. Oh, we'll just demonetize him. We won't bother deleting his account. We'll just demonetize them.
I was never, ever monetized because the thing is, I play it smart.
Yeah. Well, I monetized because, what the hell, why not? It was there. Why the hell not? I can use it to expand the operation. Just like I'm doing now.
I thought about it for the first 5 years of on here, but
yeah,
I don't mind making a little bit of pocket change here and there,
Well, I mean, where do you think I got the editing programs and the green screens and all that other shit that we had back in the day to make that shit happen? Okay, it was because of YouTube monetization.
Yeah.
Okay, I invested everything right back into the operation. None of it went in my pocket. None of it went and bought me a fucking candy bar or a pack of cigarettes or anything back in the day. I invested it all in the freaking business. And even now, I'm investing my own money into this business. I'm not making a fucking profit off this.
Now there's ways of making money on the side with PayPal. Was it PayPal and what is it here? Here, let me look here. Let me look. Oh, Cash App. Yeah, Cash App.
Yeah.
Cash App. And even Venmo. I mean, you can make money on the side on Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and and so make it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can make money, and I'm not refuting that point. But what I am inherently saying is that it's not about the money.
No.
It's about building the operation, expanding our presence and influence, and just getting the message out there. That's all it's ever been about for me.
Yeah.
Is the message. I don't care if I'm living in a van down by the river. I don't care if I'm in a mansion or in a van down by the river. All I care about is that the message gets out and it gets to people that can make a difference. That's what matters to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but have you seen the online store, the new online store?
No.
You have not seen the new online store.
Hold on here.
Okay, you're about to get a treat right now. Okay, wrong person. I'm about to bring up the store right now, so give me a second.
All right.
I'm going to show everybody what we're working with here. We got some nice little goodies. Check this out, my friends. This is the TWRN store. As you see, we've got the traditional Shadow People TWRN logo. We've got the Flower of Life shirts available in regular t-shirts and hoodie. And the reason there's only one set of shirts and one set of hoodies is because they're unisex. We got TWRN flat logo, TWRN fire logo. We have the No Kings counter protest shirt that we made, the no strings, both with the X and without the X, and white and black shirts. Okay, got some new ones on the table too. The Truth is Louder Than Bullets, the Charlie Kirk Memorial shirt, single taken, fighting the New World Order. That's a new one, and our counter protest to the anti-white movement, hating whites for being white is racist. All this violence against whites, who owes who reparations now? Black on white crime is a hate crime. Black lettering on a white shirt, that was deliberate. We've got coffee mugs, and we've got shot glasses. And, of course, we've got nice hats. The Shadow People, TWRN logo, Flower of Life, and bumper stickers. Real TWRN. The Worldwide Resistance Network. Follow the White Rabbit. You can have your pick. And if anybody else has got ideas, let me know. I'll make them happen.
Oh yeah,
Anybody
man.
got ideas for different designs or different merch? I'll make it happen. We've got options. So yeah, support the broadcast. Check out the online store. You get great goodies. It's not just throwing your money down the toilet. It's like, oh, give me all your money. I want to make sure you get something in return. You get great products at the lowest possible price. You know, I'm literally making only at most $1 or $2 off these products. I lowered the price that much. Most of your products, you would see, you know, the t-shirts at $25, $30, often $40 per shirt for some people. You saw the base prices.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Base prices for your regular shirt, your regular black shirt, $22.99. For white shirts, $20.99. Okay? I'm taking a huge hit in terms of profits here because I want to make sure that you guys get the best deals. Yeah, we want to support the broadcast. We want to improve our equipment and buy exposure and whatnot and make sure the word gets out there. But we want to make sure not to screw you. Okay? We're not out to screw anybody here. We are by the people for the people. So we want to make sure to give you, the people, the best products, the best range of products, the best quality at the lowest possible prices.
Oh yeah.
So, again, support the broadcast. Check out the online store. Get yourself some great merch. And they're great talking points. You wear a TWRN shirt out in public, they're going to be like, what's the Worldwide Resistance Network? And at which point, you're opener to address any sort of issues you want. You can tell people, oh, the Worldwide Resistance Network is this, that, and the other, and they talk about this, that, and the other. And you can segue that into any given conversation that you want. And it continues the conversation offline into the real world where foreign powers who would otherwise try to suppress you or even arrest you for your freedom of speech online can't touch because you're out in the real world having a real conversation. You wear a shirt like that at Thanksgiving. Oh, what's TWB on? Oh, it's this, this, and this. And then you can talk about whatever issues you want and bring up whatever issues. And nobody can get mad at you for bringing up politics at the dinner table because they asked. So then you can just sit there going, nee, 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 nee. And if there's another No Kings protest, you can wear your No Strings shirt and counter protest. Okay? Anytime somebody trashes Charlie Kirk, you can sport your Charlie Kirk Memorial t-shirt. Anytime somebody sits there and tries to demoralize you for if you're white, you can wear any of those counter protest shirts fighting against violence on white people and shaming white people. Okay, we're all human beings. We all exist. We all have equal right to exist. Okay, nobody should be shamed for the color of their skin. Nobody should be attacked or hurt or be told that they're less than human or any number of issues just because of the color of their skin. That is wrong on so many levels. And I don't care if you're white, black, or whatever. Nobody deserves to be the victim of a hate crime. And anybody who perpetuates a hate crime is a piece of fucking shit.
Exactly.
And if anybody online doesn't like it and wants to try to take away my free speech, bite my fucking dink. So, getting back to Israel and Shlomo Kramer calling for limitations on the First Amendment, there have been conversations in the UN where Netanyahu had spoken about this, and as well as Kramer, and wanting limitations on the First Amendment and online censorship and control of the flow of information. He's been very outspoken saying that he wants to gain control of X and other social media platforms to curb anti-Israel dissent or anybody speaking out against Israel and things they're doing. And again, if you're not doing anything bad, then nobody's got anything to call you out on. But if you're doing bad shit, you deserve to be called out on. And at which
you will get called out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You will get called out for your shit, because the thing is, like a few years ago, or like the senator at Nevada put it on the bill to vote for it.
Yeah. And many states are doing it. And
it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It lost.
And many states are pushing for digital ID, like in Texas, they're pushing for it. And we'll get into more of that in a minute. But again, getting back to my point, if you're not doing anything bad, you ain't got nothing to be called out for.
Yeah.
But to be doing something bad and sit there and like anti-Semitic, calling me out when I'm doing something bad is anti-Semitism, or trying to control people, the flow of information in another country and circumvent their constitution, yeah, you're going to get called out on it. And I'm not.
He was saying that calling something anti-Semitism is anti-Semitism.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And let's just do it. It ain't anti-Semitism to speak the fucking truth, motherfuckers. You don't want to be called out for doing dumb shit? Don't do dumb shit. I mean, you allegedly got kicked out of 109 countries. You have World War II. Okay, does anybody ever... Yeah, what Hitler did was some very bad shit. Okay, and many people will argue that he had good reason for it, for what he did. Even though he went about it the wrong way, he was addressing a problem. Okay, but nobody ever asked why he did it. Oh, yeah, he did all these bad things. Yeah, no doubt about it. But does anybody ever stop to ask why? Prior to the AI translating Hitler's speeches, how many people actually thought to ask, why the fuck did World War II happen? Why the fuck did the Holocaust happen? Why did Hitler target these people over any other people on the planet? Okay, Jesus Christ was a fucking Jew. Okay? Christians embrace Judaism as part of their culture. It's an off-branch of Judaism. Okay, so to be anti-Jewish just for the sake of being anti-Jewish is a stupid fucking notion. Or to sit there and say, he wanted to wipe out an entire fucking race because his daddy was an abusive prick. I don't buy that. Okay? Many people have abusive parents, many of which are varying nationalities or religious or ethnic backgrounds. And they don't go out and turn on their own race and go scorched earth. No. There's a bigger underlying issue here. And you got to look at the historical facts. Zionism declared war on Germany and Adolf Hitler. They declared war. Okay? They were the ones influencing the government, the financial system, and the media and culture in Germany to the point of its degradation, just like we see today. Again, I'm not trying to pick on the Jewish people. Most Jews are great, wonderful people. Okay, they're just out there living their lives. But there's a handful of people who use the Jewish name to act like complete assholes, and they want to hide behind the mask of anti-Semitism to cover up their crimes. No, you're not a fucking Jew. You're a fucking criminal hiding behind Judaism to try to get away with your crimes. And frankly speaking, the Jewish people need to stand up in droves, not just handfuls speaking out against Zionism, but stand up in fucking droves and go, fuck you, you don't represent us, and put boots to asses. Back in the day, in the Old Testament, if you read the Old Testament, if there were Jews in the 12 tribes of Israel that were doing bad shit, they got singled out. They got their shit fucked up by the other Israelis. The other Israelis, if they caught somebody fucking up, like worshiping idols or whatnot, they fucked that person's shit up.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck shit up for the rest of us. You're going to get the big man upstairs pissed at us because of the shit you're doing. No, that ain't going to fly. We ain't going to get our shit fucked up for you. And so they fucked that motherfucker up big time. And that's the mentality that Judaism and Israel itself needs to get back to. They need to start holding their people accountable and going, hey, you're making the rest of us look bad. You're going to cause a Holocaust 2.0 to happen right now. We're going to whoop your ass. Okay,
you would have
give you from power here. You're fucking up for all of us and get us all killed.
Yeah. You would have Orthodox Jews angry over Netanyahu.
Yeah. And there's many Orthodox Jews who are very much opposed to Zionism. And you've got Zionist Christians that come out and call it that now. It's Christian Zionism. That say, oh, the Jews need to have their own country. Oh, it was given to them by God. God kicked them the fuck out 2,000 years ago. Okay? The last I checked, circumventing and manipulating 2 world wars and getting Europe to occupy Palestine to inevitably turn it over to the Zionists is not God coming down and saying, okay, I'm going to let you back into my house now. Okay, those are 2 very different things. One is not the other. Okay, God did not come down and say, okay, the Jews can return to their homeland. No, the system was manipulated using Europe to occupy Palestine on behalf of the Zionist movement. That was the agreement for getting the Americans involved in World War I. Initially, it was going to be the country of Uganda, the Ugandan territory. But then they decided, no, they want the Palestinian territory. They want the homeland back. And I'm not saying anything against it. Okay? Most people would sit there and say, oh, you're talking about the Jews and reconquering their nation. Every nation is a conquered nation. The United States was formed out of a conquering nation. It was Europe that conquered the 13 colonies. And then after 1776, the United States bought or conquered the rest of the territories. Mexico and South America were all part of the Incan, Mayan, Aztec cultures. Those were conquered. Okay? Most of Europe was conquered. Asian countries were conquered. African countries are conquered. Everywhere you go, people want to know, what country hasn't been conquered? The answer is none. Every country that exists today was at one point during human history conquered by somebody else. That's just a fact of life. Okay? Israel itself, when they made the exodus out of Egypt, Israel, the promised land, was occupied. They had to go in and take it by force. Okay? So who's this? Who am I to fucking sit there and judge that that's what it is today? They're taking it back by force.
Who remember the wall? Who remember in the Bible the story of the walls of Jericho?
Yeah, that's in Nehemiah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they were rebuilding the wall and rebuilding a lot of the areas of the temple and restoring the temple. And a lot of people wanted to help, but weren't allowed to help. And so they started spreading disinformation with, I think they were still under, not Syrian rule. What is the Persian rule? Persia was still a big influence in Israel and Judah at the time.
Yeah.
And so they,
if viewers want to know what I'm eating a piece of naan bread.
nice.
Now, if we want to know what it is, here I got here on naan is a leavened, oven baked, and tawa fried flatbread that can also be baked in a tandoor, Tandor. It is characterized by a light and fluffy texture and golden brown spots from the baking process. Naan is found in the cuisine in Iran, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Caribbean.
Yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, a lot of these cultures have really great food. Honestly, you know, and I'm not trying to pick on the Jews here, but I've had Jewish food, not necessarily the biggest fan. Right? It's probably a lot better for you than some of the stuff we eat, but
I love the Jewish rye bread.
rye bread is pretty good. But like some of the main dishes, when I was working for a synagogue, they had a potluck there, a Jewish potluck. And I'm sorry, I just couldn't get behind it. Like, nothing against the Jews. I mean, and again, it's probably a lot healthier than most of the shit we eat here in the States. But I just couldn't get behind it, you know. But then again, that was over 10 years ago. That was a long time ago. I mean, if I were to try Jewish food again today, maybe it might, my taste buds might have a better feel for it by now. I mean, I guess if you grew up on it and that's what you were eating consistently, I mean, it'd grow on you. But, you know, eating the kind of stuff that we eat in the United States and then trying Jewish food for the first time, it is night and day. And you're like, whoa, I'm not sure I'm down with this. I got nothing against their cuisine or nothing. Just, it is what it is.
Well, I've been changing because I'm diabetic.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, we're getting older. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to start eating healthier. That's why I swore off soda.
That's why 3 days ago, New Year's Day, good old Reverend Lord here just turned 50.
Yay, he's 50.
Never thought. Okay. Some of you who first saw me here on YouTube, I had dark hair and dark beard. No shit.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's already gray.
Oh,
See?
I'm the same way. I've got gray popping up here and here. My hairline's receded like a motherfucker. I used to be able to have a full head of hair before I even moved out here. I grew my hair out. I had long, beautiful hair. Now look at me. It's like receding. Like half of my fucking skull is practically fucking bald, except for like the
here. When it was going gray, it was so dark. Now look at this. It's all going gray.
You know, you ever think about like getting that Just for Men stuff? Coloring your beard? Coloring your hair?
I like the El Natural.
Fair enough. Makes you look more distinguished.
Plus, my uncle, my dad's brother, he would dye his hair black to hide the gray. Just let it go gray. You ain't getting any younger. Whatever. But I'll ask that question. Did the belt dye in your hair and your beard, dude? I like to go al natural, meaning if I go gray, I go gray. Okay, that's it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Plus, there are women out there that like the mature look,
Yeah. No argument. I found that to be true as well. And
plus, you got these young broads out there in their late 20s, early 30s. They like the older guy look, the whole.
Young women in their 18 to 25. Many of those women go for older guys. I was involved with a woman who was like, 11 years younger than me? It happens. Younger women, adult women, tend to go for older guys because they're mature. They've got their shit together. They've worked on themselves, increased their value, and proven themselves to be adequate providers and protectors.
Yeah.
Okay? So, women, all adult women of all ages are going to swoon for that. They want a guy who's going to be a good leader, provider, and protector. And young kids, young boys who are just getting out into the world, they ain't got that shit figured out. When we were fucking 18 years old, getting out of our parents' house and just getting to know the world, we didn't know shit. We didn't have an understanding of all these things. We didn't have innate value because we had to earn our value. We had to set our finances in order. We had to get good jobs. We had to figure out life. We had to save money, make meaningful investments, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, we had to be mature enough to not be fucking off our jobs. And I'll be the first to admit I was one of those people that had a lot of growing up to do. I had a lot of learning to do. You got to get your shit together in life. You got to figure out what life is about. You got to figure out what women are about, what women really want, because there's what women say they want, and then there's what women respond to. And they'll fight you tooth and nail. They're like, blah, 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 blah. No. We want to communicate. We want you to communicate. We want you to be in touch with your feelings. No, you fucking don't, bitch. No, you fucking don't. Okay, you don't want a man who's going to whine about his fucking problems. That's a fucking turnoff. You know it. I know it. Okay? You want a man who's financially stable. You want a man who fucking has his shit together. You want a man who's going to sit there and go, not bitch about his problems, but go out and fix the problems. Like, oh, yeah, this happened. I fixed it. It's cool. Whatever. Okay? That's going to be more of a turn on to a woman than a dude who just sits there and whines about his problems. Okay? I figured it out. And most guys are figuring it out. But again, that's one of those things, disinformation in this country. You got Jewish-run media telling you who to be and how to be and what women want and what a man should be. I forget what it was, but there was a commercial recently. It wasn't a commercial. It was one of the other activists out there. He was talking about a men's grooming commercial. I forget what commercial it was, but they were demonizing their demographic and demonizing masculinity and implying toxic masculinity. Let me see if I can find it, because it was actually a really good fucking video. And it was recently. Property. This is it. No, that's not it. I don't know. If I find it, I'll share it at some point. But it was really interesting. But this is the kind of stuff we're combating. It's not just political influence, it's cultural influence. They want to destroy the West. It seems like the rest of the world just wants to destroy the West. You got Venezuela, and I'm not sure I necessarily agree with everything Trump's doing on that front, but I do agree that we need to get the drugs out of this fucking country and stop the inflow. Definitively, I'll agree with that. You got the drugs coming in from the South. You've got the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States wanting to convert the United States into an Islamic state. You've got the Jewish culture, for whatever reason, trying to use us as their fucking sugar daddy and their strong arm. Israel is pretty much. You remember the old cartoons where you had the big dog in the background and then you had the little dog up front talking shit?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I see Israel at. And there is Connor. Connor has joined the party.
I just arrived. So what did I miss?
We're talking about the Jews.
Okay, so
We're talking,
Do it.
we're talking your favorite subject.
Okay, but why? What did they do this time?
Hold on. Since I said it, I got to do it. We're talking about the Jews. We had to do it for you since you joined the party.
Absolutely.
But Shlomo Kramer has called for limitations on the First Amendment in the United States, and in conjunction with digital ID, and we've heard BB Shit and Yoo-Hoo talking similarly in UN speeches and whatnot.
You broke Reagan.
I think I did.
That's one.
I've been saying that for the longest time. And everybody loves this one.
Rabbi butt plug.
Should we put that on a shirt?
You're gonna get people beat up. People will buy it, then they'll wear it, and they'll come home with black eyes, and then they'll have to post about it. You should put it on a shirt. That's like free content.
Hell yeah.
So the rabbi, I'm guessing it's Rabbi Shlomo that you guys are talking about. That fucking clown?
Kramer. We're
Kramer.
talking about Kramer, the Israeli millionaire philanthropist. He has recently come out calling for limitations on the First Amendment.
Ooh. Before I get into that, though, because that's actually self-explanatory. As Americans, you should already know what the overall consensus is that anytime anybody tries to actually limit free speech, that person tends to get shot. It just happens. It's upsetting. I'm not saying go out there and hurt people, but there's certain topics and issues inside of the United States of America that if you really, really press up against, there could be violent blowback. One of them, yes, it is the AIPAC, the Israeli lobby. That's one of them. But once you get into other things like free speech, firearms, and you start going against those two, you got some blue-blooded, die-hard red state Republicans that fucking 99 cents a bullet, it don't mean nothing to them. And if you're going to tell me that I can't say that a bullet costs 99 cents, well, then that's part of the problem, and that's why I got to go spend 99 cents. That's where this is going to go.
I bought a fully loaded 30-round clip of 226. for my AR-15 for $30.
And that's the point. And so it's not hard. This is
I didn't
literally
just get the rounds. I got the fucking clip filled with rounds. It was a fully loaded clip.
That's why the Germans and the Japanese didn't want to invade the United States. They didn't. Unfortunately for you guys, they didn't care about your military. Your military did not scare them. You did. The people of the United States did. They were afraid that upon invading force, that they would find at least, at best, a 12-gauge shotgun behind every blade of grass. They knew that the hunters would go open season, so that the United States is impenetrable as an invasion force is concerned. Yeah, sure, you could nuke it, but why nuke it? You can't have it when you're done anyway, so no point nuking it, right?
Now, what's the point of an ashtray, right?
Exactly. And getting back onto this Kramer, fucking, didn't we have a whole show about that fucking clown, Kramer? That's the guy that walks in the door.
A while back, but recently he came out saying
Seinfeld.
that he wants limitations on the First Amendment. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you're in Canada, but I'm sure things are fairly similar between our two countries. If a foreign power comes in and tries to circumvent and get your politicians to circumvent the law,
there's nothing we can do
against your national sovereignty, isn't that
the only thing I can do is petition the king?
okay? But by law, I'm talking in terms of by law. Like, doesn't that constitute treason if said politician takes that bribe or takes that lobbying money? And
yes, it would be considered treason.
Isn't that considered a crime in Canada as well?
It would be, well, it's
treason, right?
It's treason to the crown. So this is what makes us different, is that 1776, the when you guys got your independence, right? You got your sovereignty from the crown, right? Well, we got our sovereignty. We asked to be an independent nation, but like 3% of us, like the reason why the king and the queen is still on our money is because we're backed by them. Same thing as Australia. So the Commonwealth nations, they all answer to the king. Now they all have prime ministers, and the prime ministers are elected by the people, but the prime minister's job is not to run the country. The prime minister's job is to be the voice of the people in the king's ear, so that when the king makes a decision, the king knows, okay, well, those people like marijuana. They would like to have legal access to marijuana. Okay, well, then I decree that in Canada, marijuana is legal. Well, Australia was like, no, that's the demon's lettuce. That's it. Okay, well, I decree that it's still illegal in Australia. I'm not going to broad stroke. I'm not going to force. But there is a prime minister that is in the king's ear to represent each and every one of the nations of the Commonwealth. But we're all belonging to the king. That's why our military is called the Royal Canadian Navy, Royal Canadian Air Force. It's not because we're doing a namesake or an homage or anything like that. It's because like the king calls the shots, which is what makes us very dangerous, because a Canadian soldier could engage an enemy of Australia because the king runs both militaries, and the enemy of Australia may have not done anything to Canada. So it has no reasons to worry about the Canadian military coming to see it because it hasn't offended us. But the king controls all of them.
Okay, so the king does still have absolute power in terms. I thought it was pretty much like royal family were just figureheads at that point, show ponies.
It's because, okay, so this is what's weird. Okay, it's like, so because the Americans did it like through violence and they separated entirely, they're 100% separate from the entity. And what Canada did a few years later was like, we just wrote a letter to the Queen, and we were like, yo, we would like to be an independent nation, but like we might need some help along the way. And the Queen was very giving at the time and was like, let them have their Canada. And it's such a beautiful nation. I love it anyway. Let me know if they need anything. because we're such a resource-rich, filled nations, there's really nothing our country can't afford to do. But we always needed permission. So the king, when he did the whole address, like, because like the queen died, a bunch of shit happened, and then the king became the king, and then he did a throne speech. Okay. Well, when he did a throne speech, he made sure to tell Canada that it was now time for Canada to dream big and act even bigger. So that like we don't need permission. We just need to start bringing big ideas to the table because he wants to start bankrolling all of them. So it's treason. It's treason to the king when we're talking on a military stance. And if you're fucking with the Canadian politics, you're fucking with the person that has the ear of the king. And if the king catches wind that the person that has his ear is corrupt, I think that's still a death penalty. That's treason. I think they could still kill a motherfucker over that.
Yeah, but then you got the issue of the unelected EU, Ursula von der Leyen, and all that. That's really convoluting things for European countries. Which, by the way, I mentioned this on Tin Man TV the other day, but the online store is up, but it is presently not available in the EU provinces. Currently, there are some bylaws that I have to read through and gain an understanding of what's going to be required of TWBRN and operating and selling within the Canadian provinces, anywhere else where the EU operates. I got to make sure I know and understand their laws. It's nothing too extravagant. It's just basically quality of the product, health and safety issues in terms of importing goods and services, and refund policy shit.
I have an idea to add to the store.
What?
Shoot.
Mr. Giggles.
Totally make the mask available.
I do not own the copyright to the mask. That is another company that produces that mask.
Drop ship it.
And yeah, we could do that, but Mr. Giggles is kind of on his own program. He kind of went on a hiatus. We're going to address that at a future date.
Yeah.
Pretty much he's kind of on his way out if he's not already out already.
Yeah.
We've had that conversation.
He's probably in the woods, fucking a toaster, fucking a porcupine.
Well, he's bound to do it.
Yeah. Well, apparently he wants to go back out west, and he's already made his plans. I don't know what his plans are right now. He said he was going to make a big announcement coming up here in the coming weeks, but he's pretty much on his way out, wants to do his own thing. And yeah. But now we've got Aaron with the Friday dessert. I don't know if you guys have gotten to see that. I know Revan's gotten to see that a little bit. I know Revan enjoyed it.
What happened with the conspiracy now? He's backing away, or are we like what's going on? I missed that.
Revan and I covered that on Tin Man TV. Pretty much, given what happened on that last roundtable, it was mutually agreed that it's best overall that he step back.
Did something happen after I left the roundtable, or?
Well, it was right. Like he came back for a second round and told us this big thing where Anonymous allegedly leaked the
Epstein files, and we asked him where the files, what files were released, and where they could be found.
Yeah,
and basically we got the runaround, and apparently, that's making us look bad. It makes him look bad, and by proxy makes Anonymous look bad. And apparently, off camera, there were some issues behind the scene that happened with him, and Anonymous's response to that. It's not my place to really go into details too much, but pretty much he got booted out of a lot of things.
Put this way.
So it's just based. Sorry.
When we asked where to look, he said, "Try Google." To go. I'm like, okay, something. Okay, I'll do that. So I looked on Google, and it took to go. I looked everywhere for it, and all we got was DOJ released Epstein files.
Yeah, he was pretty much just rerouting us to everything the DOJ had actually done. The Anonymous really had no involvement in it, and he was propagating an idea that he wasn't able to verify.
Yeah.
We were pretty much looking for verification. What was released by Anonymous and where could it be found?
Yeah.
And
So-
Anonymous is big on making sure people can get the information and can find the information and know where the information is and what it is. And we weren't getting that, and it pissed me off. It made him look bad. It made us look bad, and it made Anonymous look bad. And
Tin Man mentioned QAnon, and it was like, he got fucking so itchy on the butthole. I'm like, dude,
Man.
like why are you getting so itchy over QAnon? QAnon is like dread.
I know the theory. I know the theory of the QAnon being the disinformation campaign. Like I know that. But that we got to look at this information always assuming that it's either disinfo or legit, and pay attention as it's moving forward. The Epstein files, though, they are. I haven't spoken about it, but they are available, so to speak. But you have to do something to them. Okay. What you need to do is get a hold of the redacted file. So you need the file that has the blackout lines on it. Okay.
Yeah, and then you copy and paste.
That's
you
right.
Select all, copy and paste, and it will come up unredacted.
Yes. That's the only
they
way.
have since corrected that issue, but the files that were released, I'm sure somebody has them somewhere. And you can still do that, or even just see the original unredacted files that were converted after the fact. I'm sure somebody has it if you look.
And when we get into Epstein files like that as a whole is kind of it's almost like a runaround thing, because what files do we want? Are we talking about the flight logs? Are we talking about the residential stay on the island? Are we talking about, because when I say things like Epstein files, what I want is the one thing. It's truly none of my business. So I never push the envelope further than that. But what I want is the list of victims, because what happens is
you're never going to get the list of victims because they were minors, right? So it has to be by law redacted. So
the list of victims is the evidence that's required to kill it all. It's plutonium, because the list of victims indicates exactly what Tin Man said. We cannot release the list of victims because they are all minors. Straight up, bro. Like I'm not even going to disagree with it. Not even for 2 seconds. But the list of victims thoroughly demonstrates that they're all minors and that they're all on the island. And so the reasoning is behind this is what I don't know why people haven't done it yet, is just straight up RICO. Anybody and everybody who's remotely associated, but now you have to choose. What do they have to be associated with? Does it have to be the island? Does it have to be the Lolita Express? Does it have to be the flight? One of these, and all of them are technically illegal in one way, shape, or form. So I think what the prosecution's having a hard time with is you have to pick a charge that's more powerful, because I'm not going to sit here with a straight face and tell you that
most
you
powerful accusation.
Right, you can have 25 charges, but one of those 25 is the more powerful charge. It's the one that started it all. So it's like, for instance, murder. That's a big charge. Yeah, how'd you do it? With a gun. Oh, well, that's unlawful use of a firearm. That's unlawful discharge of a firearm. That's unlawful and unsafe storage of a firearm. Do you see how all of these new charges rack up because I murdered with a firearm? But now if I did it with my bare hands, there's some charges: aggravated assault leading to death, aggressive use of force if I'm a police officer, leading to death. Different charge. So you need that one charge so that a shit ton of other charges can follow. So I'll never say that that they can't be charged with all of it. They should be charged with all of it and 25 made up charges just because we know we're going to lose 10 charges, right? Charge them with all of it and see what sticks. But we need one. And then
and it's not, exactly. And it's not just what happened on the island with the kids. You know, that was just that, as many people would refer to it as the hors d'oeuvres. There was a lot of other things going on involving Epstein and was within the files, such as money laundering, scientific experimentation on people, torture, CIA operations, criminal operations, involvement with Mossad and other foreign entities, criminal behavior within the United States government. There's a lot of things that are encompassed within the Epstein files. It's not just certain political and Hollywood people diddling little kids. It was a whole slew of other things, and that's why they say it could bring down the country and even many other countries, such as England and their government and their oils.
Yeah.
So
why do you think we had to get out of office so fast?
Yeah, and that's why
on the list.
Yeah, that's why that's why a lot of people like Jones are arguing that that's why Trump put a hex on the whole damn thing, was because of all these other things. It wasn't just about the kids. It was about the CIA stuff, the Mossad stuff, the moving of the money, all that shit, that could really.
This was so big. Think about this.
It would
we all
destroy
know that Trump is pompous, right? He's like, I can fix everything. That's his personality, right? So knowing that, think about this. This is so big. This is so bad. This is going to break so many different things in so many different places that even Donald Trump does not believe that he can fix it. Do you know how bad it has to be for a man like Trump, who believes that he's fucking God and can solve a war in 24 hours and do a two-state solution? The man who said he will bring world peace has decided that he is not good enough to fix the break that will happen if this gets released. That is the canary in the coal mine. That if the American population needed to know exactly how fucked they were, that's a good one, because it's crazy when you think about it. Everything starts to collapse. I think the strategy here is Trump says, okay, well, I'm going to lock this door. I'm going to fire all these people. I'm going to unlock this door, and we're going to go about arresting all of these people, because he cannot have the scandalization of, I guess this is where it matters the most. Does Donald Trump love his country? Absolutely. Why? Because he cannot allow for the scandalization of politicians on both sides.
Yeah.
You can't just let it be a bunch of Democrats. You can't let it be a bunch of Republicans. And he sure as heck cannot allow a bunch of Republicans and Democrats to get removed off the board at the same time. The political chaos that will come from that would be reasonably impressive. What the United States needs to do is every state needs to have some sort of a committee. This is going to totally be like volunteer basis. Some sort of a committee that can study and whip up a local election inside of 72 hours. So that in the event that a mass arrest happens on a nationwide level, because this is what's going to happen. The government is going to be like, we're arresting all of these people. Democracy is safe. I need you guys to get to the polls. I need emergency elections right now. And then all the states are like, I got you, Mr. President. Funny thing, we've been practicing this exact thing. We'll have your election results for you in 3 days. No problem. We're just going to shut the country down for 3 days. Good old-fashioned long weekend, pick the right day. I'm sure Super Bowl Sunday would love a 3-day weekend, and then it could be a 3-day weekend
right
after that. You know what I mean? Something foolish. I know these are just foolish ideas, but snap election, results, boom, all inside of 3 days, mass arrest, but they can't move forward. They can't release the files of the people involved, not victims, I mean actual predators. They can't release that because in the United States, vigilante justice is against the law. So you can't just have a bunch of citizens killing a bunch of citizens because someone said on the internet that this person did that. You can't, the Pizzagate thing all over again. We can't have it. It has to be arrests. It has to be mass arrests. It has to be through the RICO laws. But unfortunately, the American population really has to put on the big boy boots and realize that we're going to arrest 60% of the Congress and 40% of the fucking Senate. And this might be bad. And this might fuck us, guys. We might take an economic 3-day hit, and an economic 3-day hit for the United States could be fucking $20 trillion. It could be a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors at play. And I think, with all these things coming to a head, and I was thinking about this while you were talking, it seems very coincidental that the Israel lobby is now pushing for limitations on the First Amendment when we are reaching such a pinnacle point where the President of the United States is listening to the American people by way of the internet. So now we want limitations on the First Amendment and digital ID and control of the flow of information on the internet. You control the flow of information and who it goes to.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. Okay, if you haven't, I figured it out. I figured this one out last week. Okay, why is the AIPAC? Why is the Israeli lobby doing what it's doing? Why is it doing that? Because it's becoming very blatant. It's literally like you're saying.
Yeah, and you froze, and you're gonna have to maybe disconnect and reconnect or move to a different spot. But I will keep going with that. You're freezing, Connor. He's talking this whole time and he's frozen.
And then
he has no idea.
Dawned on.
I don't think he can hear this.
Well, like I was saying, what was it? A few podcasts ago. Go ahead. I'll wait.
He's frozen. I don't know if you can hear us, Connor, but you're frozen, buddy.
Well,
you're frozen.
That's him.
He's still going like he's got like nothing happened.
No, hold on.
Oh, he finally got it.
He figured
it out.
Yeah.
Yes. He figured it out. Yeah. Maybe disconnect and reconnect, brother. Yeah. I'm disconnecting.
Like I was saying about okay, he's back. I'll wait.
Whoa, we got two of them. We got two John Connors.
Taking notes, great.
Remove.
Okay.
You're getting close when.
Yeah.
That was fucked. So
that was.
In essence,
you were frozen that entire time.
Okay.
That was weird, man.
And there he goes again.
This is what's going to happen. And it took me a long time to figure this out.
I ain't high, but this is weird, man.
You might want to go somewhere else, bro. Like you're frozen again. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, he's back.
All right, you back? You good? Yes? No? Yes? No? No. Maybe disconnect entirely and reconnect, brother. I don't know what's going on, but your shit fucked up. But I'm going to carry on with it and we'll get him re-added as soon as he gets the shit fixed.
Well, the thing is,
I think he's back.
oh, he's back.
Are you back now? Are you here? Are you not? What's going on with your shit, brother?
I'm here. I'm here.
If you're there, give us a finger.
Woo! Okay. I don't know what's going on with your shit, Gunner, but you got to get your shit. I'll leave that to you to figure
As I
out.
start talking,
But we got
oh,
quite a few people in the round table
Yeah,
right now.
I'm
A
just
lot
gonna
of people tuning in.
switch.
You are as much a part of the conversation as anybody else. Feel
Yeah.
free to join in the conversation. This isn't just the people on the round table. You know, it's not just me, Reverend, and Connor. You're as much a part of the conversation as well. So engage in the conversation in the comment section and share your thoughts and opinions. Again, the topic for today, Israel's Shlomo Kramer calls for limitations on the First Amendment, and share your thoughts.
John, if you're a good man, give us a finger, bro.
All right, he's good now. Yay!
Yes.
I'm gonna be like,
Yay!
I'm gonna be like Dave Chappelle. We need a code. Did you guys see that sketch yet?
No.
Dave Chappelle says that he needs a code because he's afraid that he's going to get co-opted. And he says, in case these motherfuckers, he drops the N-word because he'd be black and all. But so in case these motherfuckers try to like co-opt him or have him say some shit or do some shit that would not be for or what he believes in, he's like, we need a code. We can't let this get too far. My words are too powerful. He says, it's going to have to be a secret. And it's got to be something that you know that I would never say. I know what that code is. I stand with Israel. Right?
Wait, is it like Peter Griffin singing "I wish upon a Jew"?
Yeah. So check this out. I'm gonna try.
You had a thought before you went hiatus.
Yeah.
Carry on with your thought.
So this is where it goes. This is where it gets fucked up, and it's going to touch into another one right afterwards because we called this. We said this was going to happen before it happened, and I actually did it like in reverence with my head down, and I was actually appalled that I even thought the idea. But AIPAC is voluntarily and doing it to itself. It's hanging itself out to dry. It's done. AIPAC is done. Okay, because too many people are criticizing AIPAC. Too many people they want the FARA registrations. And it's like I explained before, there'll never be a FARA registration for AIPAC because AIPAC is not foreign. AIPAC is a bunch of Americans that live in the United States that lobby for Israel. FARA is if a bunch of Israelis came to the United States and started lobbying for Israel. So that's the reason why it's AI and not IA or whatever there is that it's American Israeli. So you don't have to do FARA registrations. But if you flip, okay, but now everybody's they're just beating the shit out of fucking the AIPAC, okay? It is what it is. So they know that this is happening. So it's dying and it's burning and it's collapsing. And they're going to try and push the most outlandish shit on its way out. One, infringing free speech. Why do they want to do this? Everybody's trying to figure out why they want to infringe on free speech. On what grounds could they gain to infringe on free speech? That's when they can say things like, Zionism is anti-Semitism. That's why they need that power. Okay. But they're hanging themselves out to dry and they're slowly burning and crashing and burning and da 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 da. But do you know why? It's because they don't
want people getting into the ear of the orange man and getting the orange man to wake up and go, oh, hey, Israel's fucking me in the ass.
It's because they don't need it anymore. You don't get rid of something that you need. You get rid of something you don't need. You know why they don't need it anymore? Because they bought something. Nobody really knows if they bought it, but they bought it. Hey, buddy, when the truth comes out, it's going to hurt.
Break it. Breaking news.
TPUSA.
Oh, yeah, and we talked about this on the round on TV the other day. TPUSA is pretty much dead in its own boots.
Well, it's not dead right now. It's a phoenix. It's being reborn into something we don't want to see because TPUSA is going to replace AIPAC. Mark my words. Mark my words. TPUSA is the new
That's why they killed Troy Kirk.
because he was against the Jewish. Okay, dude,
Oh,
Erica Kirk, bro, into his wife.
no shit.
$150 million, man. That'll buy you a lot. Why do you think Candace is pissed? Candace is over the fucking moon. She knows this. And if she doesn't know it, girly, you know it now.
Yeah.
APAC crying, fucking Mademoiselle Erica Kirk sold your best friend's dream and his people to the Israeli lobby. And that's the American secret that cannot go, because if that goes, then TPUSA will lose gas and lose steam, and it will die with APAC. But for as long as we keep pumping money, keep that woman crying, say his name, remind people that he was pro-Israeli until he wasn't, but shh.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of sound bites of Mr. Kirk, Charlie Kirk, saying he's pro-Israeli, and we can't erase all of them, but they've managed to erase almost every one when he started to say, no, I can't get behind this anymore, to the point that he did an internal audit to find all of his Jewish donors. Then the motherfucker, come on. It's not just because he didn't like what they were doing with Palestine. There's a bunch of people that don't like what we're doing with Palestine. There's a bunch of people that don't like what's happening in Palestine, but how many of the people that don't like what's happening in Palestine are actually looking internally into their own companies and running audits to find people that are, listen, if you work for my ass and I pay you and you're taking your money and you're sending it to that bitch, you're fired.
It's not just about what's going on in Palestine, because as we were talking about earlier, and I'll bring you up to speed on that, we were discussing earlier that every nation that exists came from as a result of another nation being conquered. Every country on this planet that exists used to be something else until it was conquered and became what it is today. So, I mean, nobody's going to begrudge Israel reconquering Israel.
I'm going to give Tim.
That's just a fact of life. Everything is you can get pissed off at that. You can say it's inhumane or whatever, but every country that exists in the world today was something else at some point until it was conquered.
So, are you ready? Are you ready? Because I'm going to blow your mind now. You ready? This is the big one.
It's so much bigger than that, though.
So this is where this point complements your point. Ready? Because I've been calling it Zionism this whole time. I had to at least wrap people's brain around what it was. But the real historians, the real people that do that, the people that I watch to learn what this information is, it's not called Zionism. It's actually called something else. There's another word involved in the name.
Hit it.
The real name to the people that run the nation state of Israel, it's called Rothschild Zionism. How do the world elites and how do Israel mesh together? The very people that we call world elites, Rockefeller, Rothschilds, all of that, the 13 families, all of that stuff, their money is what was used to build Israel. So they're invested to build, your tax dollars defend.
Yeah, and Alex Jones will sit there and say that Netanyahu, that Bibi Netanyahu is in opposition to the Rothschild Bank and that portion of Israel and Judaism. Basically, he's suggesting that there are two factions of Judaism fighting for control of Israel. And that may be accurate to a point, but there's no denying that Israel got to where it is because of the Rothschilds and their financial investment and their involvement in World War I and World War II and their influence over Europe. And there's no denying that Trump is indebted financially to the Rothschild banks that have bailed him out. So it all kind of goes back together. I mean, there may be infighting between the two of them, but at the end of the day, it's still the world for Israel.
Yeah, because that's where all the money is.
Yeah.
It's become the. I think what they're trying to do is make Israel the financial sector of the Middle East. But in the Middle East, it's very oil rich. It's very, very, very rich. There's a lot of resources there. So
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And the people who are in those countries are like, I'm not running all of my business through Israel. I'm just not. Right? Because
and it was already like that through the Bank of England, which is pretty much, last I heard, they were pretty much running out of silver and nearly dead. But now you've got Candace Owens coming out about all this stuff with Turning Point USA, and what you suggested is if true and can be verified, is the deal breaker right there. That is an angle that I hadn't even considered. That was huge that you broke that. And if Candace Owens has stumbled across this, and the closer she gets to it, there's going to be disinformation. She needs to differentiate between what's correct and what's false, and not just run with everything. Love Candace to death.
I'm not in the mix. I'm not in the business to make threats. I'm not. It's just because I understand violence does not mean I condone violence. And part of understanding violence is knowing when someone is going to fucking get hurt.
Yeah.
And she's there. She's just at the door. She's just clawing. She's just got to rap, tap a couple more times with the right beat, and it's going to open. And that worries me because she's just that close. And why does it have to? It'll be the first, one of the very few times, if ever, that a female gets assassinated.
Yeah.
That's her big angle. Come and get me, boys. Come and
even Jones is going after her right now. It's like, dude, you're supposed to be the biggest fucking proponent for truth here. You're supposed to be the man that everybody can rely on for factual information. Yeah, Candace may have got some things wrong and bought some wrong info and is doubling down because she's pissed off. But you know what? She's human. You don't have to go and call her queen of QAnon and all this other shit. Like, in fact, I'm going to show something. Like, this is pretty fucked up and pretty childish as far as I'm concerned. I sent it to you guys last night. But, like, this is something that should not be happening. Regardless of whether Candace is in the wrong in terms of any information she's released and that she's doubling down on that information is irrelevant. The fact that she is being demonized like this by Jones is better than this. And it kind of pisses me off because we're supposed to be fighting the globalist machine, not each other. And then we have shit like this. Watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now being reported by the mainstream corporate media that Erica Kirk is pregnant and that she's been hiding this fact. And the word is, according to a source I had that was in North Dakota at a military base, he just walked in the secure skiff. There was 15 colonels and all those other people from TPUSA. They were having a big meeting about how Candace Owens is really a man. And that's why there's such a fight between him and Erica Kirk, is because 5 months ago, before Charlie got killed, Candace, also known as Big Mike Jr., got Erica Kirk pregnant. And Charlie found out about it. And that's why the two of them got together and conspired at the fort in North Dakota and also Fort Huachuca to assassinate Charlie to cover this up. But now the two are in a major fight with each other. And again, if you question me, you're trying to cover up that the fact that obviously Charlie was killed and there was accessories. You're hiding the investigation. You cannot question this. My source is named Mitch Bumbleberry, and you just can't question him. But we're going to put a Gibson go for him. We can raise him a few $100,000 just right now. So I'll put the article up from mainstream media saying she's pregnant. So off that piece of information, you must connect the dots now and say that Candace Owens is a man, Big Mike Jr., Anacondas for arms, one in the pants, and had a secret relationship with Erica Kirk, and that it is Charles Owens. That's his real name. Charles P. Owens. Charles Peabody Owens is the real name, and that Candace Owens is really a man. Okay? So there it is. Do not question me or you work for Israel. Do not question me or you're a Mossad operative. Do you understand that? Good. No, actually, this is called satire, folks. But that's how this works. I can just make up whatever I want, right? Couldn't I? They are saying, ooh, she's got a baby bump. Ooh, she's pregnant. Ooh, who baby is it? She's got splaining to do. The corporate media, like she's done something wrong. If she did, as if she didn't already have 2 babies with Charlie. By the way, she did have that glow going on. I haven't said when I saw her on TV. I said, I've seen her before. She always looked great, but goddamn, she's glowing. That woman's glowing. People are like, she should be mourning more. Why is she glowing? Got that pregnant glow going on. So congratulations, Erica Kirk. And we're sorry you've gone through all this. And TPUSA is stronger than ever. And just God bless you all. And I think it's totally fine. The Big Mike Jr. is living a double life. Okay, I'm joking around. Joking around about that. Can't help it. Sorry.
Fucking with it. Oh, it was a couple of low blows there. I wouldn't have gone that far. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, her email box must just be imploding with fans. You're like, they are calling you a man. And then she's going to be like, did you watch the whole video? Her response is going to be, did you watch the whole video? Like, he was making a joke. And she's going to feel bad for all the fans that are defending her because she's going to be like, you're proving his point.
Yeah. I mean, like, the two of them are butting heads right now. It's like, dude, do you not understand prison tactics? You keep the inmates pitted against each other so they won't rise up against the guards. And you're sitting there focusing on this shit. Now, I can't say that, I don't support Jones in the fact that the information he presents is accurate. It's researched. He's thorough. And his analysis is spot on 99.9% of the time. But stuff like this, that's just a dick move. Okay, that's satire, unnecessary satire. And I'm all for satire.
It's unnecessary satire. It's unnecessary satire against an ally. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. That's because you could poke fun at me and I could poke fun at you and it'll just grow the views and it's all satire. But like if I started calling you a woman, that's like it's literally crossing the line. Like it's like it's a very personal attack that serves no value. Like I get he was proving a point, but like shit, he shouldn't have been. It went dark fast, right? Like because I am a Candace Owens. I'm in that camp. Like I've literally messaged that woman and be like, if you just want to have a very weird breakaway conversation about everything you talk about, like, I'm your guy. Like I'm the guy that you want to.
I would love for her to come on the podcast. We'll come on her podcast.
I give her control. Let her ask the questions, and then let me just go fucking nuts, right, on the answers. And then like I'm sure she has a bleep button, and that's okay. Like I swear a lot. I'm so terribly sorry, but just hit the button, right? Like we have a Jew button. You can have a bleep button for when I'm there. Like it's okay.
Oh, she would probably love the Jew button.
Like, you have to bring
her on the show. We'll show her the Jew button.
Right, we're good. What's this? We can't be like, what's this? We're like, it's your very own button, right? And yours works now, right? And I don't know. I would love an interview with Candace Owens. I would love to sit on a round table with Owens, Alex Jones, and us, because that's the debate roundtable. Everybody wants to say stupid shit like, "Oh, this is what Charlie would have wanted." Okay, that debate roundtable, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, and the three of us. That's the kind of healthy debate that Charlie literally supported, was varying views from varying countries, from varying people, from varying colors, from varying genders. That's what he wanted.
But even Charlie didn't get caught up in that whole childish narrative. Like, okay, if you disagree with me, that's fine. If you don't like what I'm doing, that's fine. Do you. But, don't sit there and do a bunch of infighting, and I'm sure she's responded to him in kind. I mean, she is a very emotional woman. She's in an emotional state dealing with the passing of a very dear friend, and is trying to get to the bottom of this whole thing, and everybody's giving her shit, and she's getting hit with disinformation. Now she's getting hit with by Jones. Like, the woman's no disrespect to her, but I can sympathize. She's probably a bundle of nerves right now, and it's just like, fuck you all.
Yeah, she needs
at that point, I can't say I blame her.
She needs a security detail, and it's like it's the kind of security detail where like literally people are just they surround her house. You'll be like, yeah, no, you guys don't cross this line. And security will be like, why are you surrounding the house? Well, if they get past us, they won't get past you, right? You're like, you're her legit security. Okay, yeah. Well, anybody who's trying to do something to get to her will have to get through us first. She needs that kind of security detail because she's touching all the right issues. She's coming with receipts. She's showing how it is. She's touched issues that like I haven't even brought up to the table because she's already hit them with precision and already demonstrated the receipts. Like the airplane that left just moments after the assassination, things like that. Like there was I think it was I just don't want to fuck up the information, but it was a foreign assets plane that was at a specific airport, and she's been documented with military personnel explaining that the only reason why planes are there is for like very high profile military exchanges and things like that. Like, so like for that plane to take off right after the assassination was quite legitimately odd. It's not something
there's
that would
a
have
lot of
happened.
odd things that happen, and there may be some information that was wrong, and that's fine. Things happen. I mean, one of the sources she cited, Jones has brought this out a lot about, the things that he takes issue with in terms of what she's presented as evidence, and that's fine. But don't go sitting there making an enemy out of a friend for the sake of satire and clickbait. Go, look, I'm on the same page as you, Candace. I want to find out the truth. But we need to sift through the lies and not just accept that everything is gospel and just dig a little deeper and go, okay, and ascertain what's really going on and what really happened and who, what, where, when, why, and how. And just, the closer you get to the asshole, the more shit you're going to get, the more bullshit you're going to get. But there is truth amidst the kernels.
Yeah, and I
think Jones and Candace both need to, pardon the expression, swallow their pride and take a step back and go, okay, you fucked up, I fucked up. We need to get back on the same page here. Let's just squash things.
Squash it and chill.
If I'm in the wrong, help me do right. If you're in the wrong, I'll help you do right. Help each other. Be friends. Be the resistance and not get into this childish infighting.
In the resistance, each other. Shake hands. We shake hands and swap notebooks.
And chill the fuck out.
Yeah, we shake hands and swap notebooks. So this is the info you had. This is the info I have. Whew. Now we have all the same information. Oh, look. Okay, well, this person, you found out that this. Okay, I got to disregard that. Thank you. I didn't know this. Okay. Oh, and then the other person's going to be like, you managed to figure out. Yeah. Check it out. You should call them. They wanted to keep talking. I just couldn't keep going. You should call them. Right. Shake hands and swap notebooks, and you'll see progress inside of the whole.
Yeah, they sat down with everything they had respectively, shook hands, sat down with each other in a room for about 8 hours or so and just compared notes and did exactly what you were saying in the context of what you were saying. Dude, can you imagine what the two of them together could accomplish? Mm-hmm. You got all this childish infighting. You just go the opposite direction, shake hands, and sit down with your notebooks and go, here. Can you imagine what would be accomplished
in an 8-hour shift? And the truth is that they would accomplish more work in that one action, and then they could take each other's family out for supper and laugh over a glass of wine and get back to work the very next day and have more accomplished than what I can do in a week.
Yeah. I mean, the two of them together, they could probably accomplish more in a day together than they have respectively in the past year.
Do you have any idea what would happen if those two fed the narrative to Nick Fuentes, and then he just put the whole world on blast, and he had the receipts? Oh, there are certain figureheads that if you could put them in the room and make them shake hands, the overall outcome would become dangerous. After that roundtable, words would become weapons.
Yeah.
Because everybody would just know what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to. Right now, everybody's they're working on their best gut feeling with the information they have available. That's what all of us are doing. But us, we're the very few that are actually like, what did you find about this? And what did I, and then and sharing it and then building it. And maybe it's because we do it in a public setting. Maybe they do all of this in boardroom settings, but like we do it in the public eye where they can see our thought process.
Yeah, and right now, I think this is what's happening. You got a lot of disinformation, you got a lot of infighting, and this is the perfect opportunity for Israel to come in and go, okay, they're getting too close. We don't need this information getting back to certain people in power. We need to cut the flow of information. We need to get control of these information networks and stop the flow of information before it gets in the hands of somebody who can make a fucking difference. And because it's going to plant the proverbial foot up the ass of our entire operation.
Well, that's why they need the free speech laws, because the free speech laws protect internet speech. They don't care what people tell each other in their neighborhoods. That's not what they care about. What they don't like is somebody from Kentucky, fucking Illinois, can say something, and the guy in fucking Mumbai can read it. They don't like that. That's what they don't like. They don't like that the American free speech, what made the American country the great country that it is, the American free speech, I have rights, is becoming commonplace in countries where that shit just don't exist. And they don't like that. They don't like it.
Yeah, freedom of speech does not work well for those who are trying to operate in the shadows. Because free speech entails truth and spotlighting shit. And people who are doing bad, regardless of who or what, don't like that shit. Because they want to operate in the shadows. They want to do shady shit. Even if they're out in the open doing the shady shit, you don't call me on my shady shit. It's like, well, fuck you. I'm going to call you on your shady shit because you shouldn't be doing shady shit. Okay, live and let live. You got your fucking sandbox. You got Israel. Leave the rest of us alone. You wanted Israel? Yeah. You got it. Okay, you wanted to reconquer Palestine and reclaim it as Israel? Fine. That's your prerogative. Leave the rest of us alone.
Yeah, but see, they need
the United States wasn't your promised land. Go fuck yourself, dude. You got your sandbox. This is my sandbox. Stay out of my sandbox.
They don't have it. This is the problem. We are speaking inside of a context where they've already conquered Israel. They haven't. Gaza and the West Bank are inside of Israel. The Gaza Strip and the Palestinian Gaza Strip and the Palestinian West Bank, when you pull up a map of Israel, it's the only places that are left that are green. That's where the genocide is happening.
Yeah.
Because they haven't conquered Israel yet. So in order to conquer Israel, they need the American military to do it. So now it's up to the American people to get the American president to stop the American military from giving the Israeli army the weapons to do what it's doing. Like that's what this whole like anti-war, opposing the genocide, opposing the river to the sea, Israeli fucking Star of Bahamut flag, all of that shit, like that, opposing all of that. The reason why it's a crime, you want to know why it's a crime? Why people are getting arrested in the UK for fucking speaking out about the Palestinians? It's because the Israelis are so close. They're so close to conquering it and it being their country and just they're so close, but they haven't done it yet. And it only takes a small percentage of a population to reach critical thinking capabilities And because I think it's like 8% of the population. You only it's not even. No, it's 2%. Out of 10 people, you only need 2 people to have a good idea for the other 8 to decide I like that idea.
Yep.
If it keeps going, so the good idea that they don't want anybody to have, it's the same one as Arafat. When I was a kid, I saw this guy on TV, right? A Palestinian nation, a Jewish nation, a dividing line, 2-state solution. So this is the problem. You know how the United States of America has how many states? Like 51, 52?
50.
Yeah.
50, okay. So those 50 states belong to the one country of the United States. Arafat said, Israeltine. Israeltine would be the name of the nation, and the nation would have 2 states, one for the Israeli Jew to live in peace and prosperity and grow, and one for the Palestinian people to live in peace and prosperity and grow. They killed that motherfucker real quick, right?
Yeah.
Actually, they tried to kill him a bunch of times. It didn't work, and then he died of old age, if I'm not mistaken. Yasser Arafat. Look into him. You'll laugh a little bit. Because
I've heard of him.
Israel does not want Israeltine. They want Israel. They want all of it. And they want the Palestinians that choose to live there to live as a second-class citizen, segregated, like the Americans did with the black people.
Yeah.
This is the Israeli dream. And no, they cannot.
That's what they want to do. That's their prerogative, but don't make it our other problem.
That's why.
Don't make it the rest of the world's fucking problem.
That's
We're not
why
here to fight your fucking battles. You want to conquer a nation? Put your big boy pants on and go conquer the nation. Don't look at me to fucking fight your battles.
That's what needs to happen throughout the entire nation of the United States. It's not, if you want to fucking genocide of people, you want to conquer a land. I live in fucking Canada. Do you have any idea what we did to the Native Americans? It was not a pretty picture. I have a very, very dark national history of conquering a land. Now, if the Israelis want to do that, then you go ahead and you do that, because you have to live with that dark history before you can stand proud and say, this is the nation that I have built. But right now, they're inside the dark history part, but they're doing it at a time in human history. We didn't let it happen in Germany, and we didn't let it happen in Rwanda. And why the fuck are we letting it happen in Israel? What's wrong with us? How did we fuck up? But that's all it is. American military.
Revin, you have a thought?
Go ahead. I gotta get no.
When Zelensky became president of Ukraine, right? Within last year, he took over the media.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, the IDF took over the radio and TV in Palestine.
Yeah, electricity and water as well. When they get mad, they just fucking shut the water off.
Yeah. And they don't want people like us talking about these issues, because I'll sit there and I'll come on camera and I'll point out, it's like, okay, Christian Zionists, why are you for Israel over Palestine when why are you for Israel for retaking the Palestinian territory and making it Israel again, but you're opposed to the official political media narrative that Russia is trying to reclaim.
Oh, you want
Ukraine.
Okay, hold on. I'll help you. Do you want me to help you destroy Christian Zionism? Is that what you're trying to do here? Okay, look, it goes like this. Remember way back in the day? I mean, like way back in the day, there was a time, right, that people loved Christ so much, bro, that they would show up at people's houses and they would fucking burn crosses in front of their houses, but they loved them so much. Right? Okay, ready? Fucking Christian. Right? They love Jesus so much that they burn his cross. Right? Yeah, but see, then everybody got caught on, right? And you'd be like, KKK just can't be a thing anymore. Right? So what do I believe Christian Zionism is? Oh, that's where all the racist Christian people went to hide. That's that, because what is Zionism? They believe in they're better than others. They believe that if you're not a Jew, you're a goy, you're a Gentile, you're subhuman. Who else believes that kind of rhetoric, right? The KKK does. So the KKK and Zionism, they would shake hands real quick, and they would get rid of the festive cross burnings you see, and they would just call it Christian Zionism. Christian Zionism is an organization. That's all it is. So now, when your political people go up and say, "I'm a Christian Zionist, I'm for Israel," just imagine them going, blah, 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 white power. That's it. That's all. That's what Christian Zionism is. It's a form of racist Christianity that's trying to shake hands with another culture that practices openly racism, which happens to be the Israeli Zionist. Do you notice how I didn't say Israeli Jew? It's the Israeli Zionist, because there are people that believe in the Jewish Torah and all of the teachings of Moses, and they're good, God-fearing people. So don't ever think that we're here to paint every Jew black. We just know that it's like I have assholes in Christianity, and the Muslims have assholes in their culture. We know that you have assholes too. It's okay. My assholes and your assholes, they're about to meet on the battlefield real quick. It's going to happen because that's what they wrote in the book, that the wicked shall destroy the wicked. It's my redneck Hicks up against your redneck Hicks now.
Exactly. And what it needs to come down to is people need to be able to make these distinctions, and they need to be able to separate fact from fiction, and they need to be able to separate the good Jews from the bad Jews. And the good Jews need to stand up and be far more vocal, and they need to wake up to what's going on and be vocal about, hey, this asshole's going to get all of us killed. Just like they did in the Old Testament. If somebody was practicing idolatry in the Old Testament, everybody in Israel would fuck that motherfucker's shit up, because they'd be like, hey, God's going to kick our ass for this. Okay, so they go and fuck that motherfucker up because they know God was going to kick their ass if they allowed for idolatry. And if this motherfucker was practicing idolatry, God was going to fuck him up. Same thing. God's going to kick our ass if you're doing bad shit. Oh, the world's going to kick our ass if these handful of Zionist pricks who are pretending to be us keep up with their shit. They're going to get us all killed. They're going to get one person or a handful of people's going to get everybody's shit fucked up.
Let's see. You have the Chibata Jew and the Zionist Jew. What the fuck?
Yeah. Magna Carta. That's the guy. Like, for all you, like, okay, like, seriously, we are the beacon of light, the Worldwide Resistance Network. We have information on all topics. Yada 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 yada. Yeah. For those young Hebrew boys and girls out there, you're trying to figure out what the fuck I'm talking about. Reach out to Magna Carta organizations inside of your religious culture. Okay, they are the individuals of Jewish heritage, Jewish descent, that adhere to all of the Torah teachings. They are your old school religious teachers. They are the ones that have been teaching the Gentiles that Israel does not belong to the Jews. Like, they are the ones that have been teaching us that it's inside of your scriptures that indicate that you are not to have a nation, that even if you are to be given one, that you're supposed to refuse it. These are Jewish teachings. If you don't know them, that's bothersome to me. And you should ask yourself why you don't know them. And if you want to look more into it, I'm not a rabbi, and I won't ever pretend to be. But you reach out to the Magna Carta people. You can find them online. I'm sure you can. I found them online, and they do a lot of good work. They are pro-Palestinian. They are the Jews that you see at the pro-Palestine protests when your brain breaks because you don't understand, because I thought they were fighting the Jews, and the Jews are sitting over there with the cards. It's because those people know that we're on the wrong side of history on this one. They just know, and they're trying to teach it to us. And it's literally one group of Jews saying one thing up against another group of Jews saying another thing. But the only thing that's different is that it's not two groups of Jews fighting to have control over Israel. It's one group of Jews says, I'm entitled to have a country. I'm entitled to have a homeland. I want it. I want a government. I want a military. I want the state of Israel. That's one grouping of Jew. And then the other grouping, which is the Magna Carta individuals, are saying, you can want it all you want. God forbade it. So we will not follow you. So one doesn't even want control of Israel. And if they got control of Israel, they would just return it to the Palestinian people. It's a little too late, probably, but that cookie would crumble. So to the Hebrews, get out there and look into it, and Magna Carta, and don't be worried, because if you think that I don't know, and these two men don't know, that the first victims of Zionism are the local good God-fearing Jews in the synagogues of your neighborhood. And my message is to preach they're not the enemy. So don't fall for that trap. When all of a sudden the narrative changes and the United States is not with Israel, it's important to remember, American citizens, I know you can be slow sometimes, that just because you're no longer backing Israel doesn't mean you hurt the Jewish guy at the synagogue. There are differences here. Very
right.
Profound differences. I'm going to let the Tin Man take this one because I got to go. But like, we're always saying Jew this and Jew that. And man, they need to know, like, they have resources and they exist and there's people for them, man.
Yeah,
we're not here to hate you.
Yeah, we are not opposed to the good God-fearing Jew. We fight for the good God-fearing Jew. We want to make sure this information gets out there to people who may not know what's going on, whether they be Christian, whether they be Jewish. Take care, Connor. Whether they be political figures. We want to make sure the word gets out there. We want to educate the good God-fearing Jew of what's going on and the truth of what's going on and what's happening to their community and the threat that's being faced here, and that it needs to be addressed before Holocaust 2.0 kicks off.
Yeah.
People need to learn the history of World War II and the events that triggered it, and not just sit there and go, Hitler was a bad guy, Holocaust bad, okay? You need to get down into the nitty gritty. I'm not saying the Holocaust wasn't bad. I'm not saying Hitler wasn't bad. But I am saying there is more to the story than what we understand and what most people understand. And people need to get informed as to, yes, that shit happened, but why did it happen? And how can we prevent both bad instances? And that's what it was. World War II and the Holocaust was a bad instance, was a bad response to a bad thing to bad things that were happening. It was a bad thing that happened as a result of a bad thing. Okay, so we need to understand that. We need to educate ourselves and become fluid in understanding that this happened because this happened. And we need to, what can we do to make sure that both bad things never happen again? And if we see the signs of it happening again, what can we do to stop it in its tracks before we have a Holocaust 2.0? Okay, that's common sense shit. And we want to make sure that we get into the ear of the president of the United States. Like him or hate him, sometimes, 9 times out of 10, if you get into his ear, if you can get into his ear and point out where he's gone wrong on something, he'll course correct. He's not perfect. He's rather eccentric. He is the embodiment of a troll when he wants to be. Okay? He understands controversy creates cash, and he milks that like a fucking cow on its last bit of dust out of its fucking titty. He understands this shit. But he also understands that if this country doesn't get fixed, and he can't fix it, especially because he was fed bad information, that everything's going to go to hell and everybody's going to wind up dead or having a real bad day. He understands this. Okay? He understands that if Make America Great does not succeed and that we do not defeat the globalist, that is going to be a bad day for him and his family. And the story. by the time he's out of power, it's going to be bad news bears for he and his family and this country. He understands this. He's not stupid. Okay? He may not be right in on a lot of things. He may be fed disinformation. But if he is not for this globalist plan and does listen to us 9 times out of 10, we need to get in his ear more and 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 more until he gets it and gets the right people in, gets the wrong people out, and starts handling business like never before. And part of handling business is to understand and accept that Israel, despite whether or not you agree it has a right to exist, if they want to exist, they can. I don't really care one way or another. Okay, but again, that's their sandbox. Stay out of our sandbox. But Trump needs to understand that these people need to be removed from our sandbox. Now, I'm not saying get rid of all the Jews, but I'm saying get rid of AIPAC. Get rid of the Mossad influence in our government. Stop being... You can be Israel's ally. You can have good relations and do good business with Israel. But stop being Israel's simp. Stop being a simp. Stop being their strong arm, fighting all their battles that they start. And stop being their piggy bank. Stop being a freaking simp-ass sugar daddy. The United States does not need to be Israel's strong arm. Let them fight their own battles. They want to say they're big bad and all that shit. They want to say they're God's chosen people. They want to say they're the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Let them go and do it. Okay, let them prove it. Let them fight their own battles and stop being Israel's simp and Israel's sugar daddy. Pure and simple. Get them out of our politics. Get them out of our government. Stop letting foreign powers influence our government and our constitution and our way of life, and let them fight their own fucking battles and handle their own fucking shit without dragging us into the middle of it to the point of our degradation. Okay? And Trump needs to have this in his ear until he fucking gets it. He needs to have it harped on him until he gets it and does what the American people say, which is pull back from Israel. You can maintain an alliance with them, that's fine, but stop supporting them, stop providing military aid, stop fighting their wars, stop giving them money, and stop letting them influence our government and our policy and our way of life. Make it stop. You know what the problems are? Fix it. You know what you need to do, Trump, so do it. So we need to make sure to get into the ears of this administration and make sure that things happen the way we want them to happen and the way they think, the way they should happen. Common sense.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't my will over his will or Democratic will or Republican will. This is just plain common sense. You want to make America great again? These are the issues we're facing. These are the solutions you have to have available to fix it. Okay, common sense shit. So we want to make sure to get into the ears of the people that matter, not just in administration, but in the civilian sector as well. We want to make sure that people become informed, become educated, wise up to what's going on, and understanding our history and understanding what's going on in this world. That's why we do what we do. And this is why we ask for your help and your support in these broadcasts. By sharing the live feed, liking and following us on all our social medias at Real TWBR and Rumble, YouTube, X, so on and so forth. Supporting us through the online store, because the more people we can reach, the more of an impact we can have, and the better our chances of making this world a better place. Because, yeah, Alex Jones is great, Candace Owens is great, but we try to be the voice that talks about things that otherwise aren't being talked about. We're trying to get into the couch cushions. We're trying to get into the cracks and the nooks and crannies to talk about the issues that aren't generally being talked about, to talk about the angles of an issue that aren't necessarily being talked about. Yeah. You've heard a lot of that today in this broadcast, and it doesn't just happen once in a while. It happens every broadcast. Tin Man TV, the Roundtable, and even on your Friday dessert. There are going to be times where perspectives and ideas are presented apart from the satire that you're not going to, that most people generally wouldn't think about. It happens. It's just a way of life. It's like, oh, I have an idea. Or I thought about this. What about this? Nobody else has talked about this. Let's talk about that. That's what makes this broadcast so important. And that's what makes you so important, because you are the ones that get the information out there. You're the ones that share the broadcast. You're the ones that support the show and help us grow and expand and make this the best possible source of information that we could possibly be. Yeah, we're not syndicated like Alex Jones or anything like that. We're just some guys podcasting and encouraging you and making you a part of the conversation and presenting alternative ideas. Why? Because we're just like you. We're Americans. We're human beings that want our sovereignty, to want to live in a world free of fear and free of totalitarianism. Exactly. And all these bad things that keep us up at night. Okay, we want a better world for our children, right? That was kind of the big thing back in the 90s, make the world a better place for our children, right? Well, let's make that world. Let's make it a world where, not everything's always going to be perfect. But if we can get to a point in civilization where we don't got to worry about our governments trying to fuck us over or become totalitarian and arrest us for our free speech or for this or that, where we could just live and let live, where governments can let their people live and let live, and foreign countries can let other people just live and let live. They do their thing, we do our thing, and everybody is just chill and doing their own thing, and life is happy and prosperous, and we could possibly enter a new golden age or a utopia world. Great, cool. Let's work towards that. So as always, if you like these broadcasts, share the live feeds. Follow us on our social medias, Rumble, X, YouTube, all at Real TWWRN. Fuck up YouTube's algorithm by hitting that notification bell. Make sure you get notified anytime we go live. And also check out the online store. Great merchandise that helped for great talking points. It's an adventure. I'm gonna be buying some shirts myself. I'm gonna be supporting that shit too. I got the bumper sticker on my car. You bet your ass. I'm promoting it. I'm promoting the brand. I'm prompting conversation, because that's what it's about. So long as we can talk, we must talk. And we must make sure that the information gets to as many people as possible and into the ears of people that can make a difference. So, and that's why I always say, on behalf of Reverend and Connor and everybody who participated, this is the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, in the name of God and everything that is good, we stand against tyranny and the forces of evil. If you are watching this, you are the resistance, and God bless you all, and thank you for everything you do.